Fourscore and 7 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty, and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now,
yesterday, December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy.
And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. Free at last! Free at last! Thank Almighty! We are free at last!
And welcome to another edition of the Historian's Almanac. I'm your host, Dr. William Lester. On this episode of the show, the Mystery of Antikythera. The Antikythera mechanism is often described as the world's first computer. Scientists have recently completed a 12-year study of the device. They knew some time ago that it was used for astronomy. The mechanism recorded the movements of planets and stars across the night sky. After working out some more inscriptions, the scientists think that the device may have had an astrological use as well. It predicted the future. In 1900, local divers found an old shipwreck. It was near the Greek island of Antikythera in the Mediterranean Sea. The divers were collecting sponges. The wreck was about 62 meters below the surface. The divers did not have modern diving equipment. Going down to this depth was dangerous. They could only spend a few minutes at the bottom before they had to return to their boat. The divers picked up a number of pieces of bronze and some marble statues. These were sent to the Greek National Museum. 2 years later, an archaeologist examined the pieces of bronze. At first, they were thought to be bits of a broken statue. He soon realized that the pieces were parts of some type of mechanism. The 70 different pieces of bronze were very corroded, yet some Greek inscriptions were very clear. The archaeologist guessed that they were parts of a device used by sailors to navigate at sea. He also worked out that the wreck was at least 2,100 years old. In more recent years, other experts have examined the Antikythera mechanism. Several replicas showing how it might have worked have been made. It's now thought that the device was not used on a ship. It was able to track the movement of the sun, the moon, and the 5 visible planets. Telescopes would not be invented for another 1,600 years. However, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn can be seen in the night sky without a telescope. The mechanism was very complex. It had over 30 moving parts. The device worked by turning a handle connected to numerous gears, wheels, and cogs. These moved hands on several dials. It may even have been able to do multiplication, division, subtraction, and addition. There are some historical records that say that Archimedes, who lived from 287 BCE to 212 BCE, made several devices that could predict the movements of the planets. Archimedes was a famous Greek mathematician, physicist, engineer, inventor, and astronomer. The Antikythera mechanism is unlikely to have been made by Archimedes. However, it shows that the ancient Greeks were able to design and make these types of astronomical devices. Using the latest X-ray technology, the scientists have been able to read many more of the inscriptions. These describe the instrument and what it does. It seems that the main function of the device was to predict the dates of coming solar and lunar eclipses. A solar eclipse is when the moon casts a shadow onto the Earth's surface. A lunar eclipse happens when the moon moves into the Earth's shadow. Eclipses can create different colors or shades. The ancient Greeks believed that eclipses influenced what happened in the future. The color was a sign that something good or bad was going to happen. The scientists do not know why the knowledge of how to make these types of devices was lost. Nothing similar was made for another 1,000 years. This was the time when the first mechanical clocks were made for European churches. And that concludes another edition of the Historian's Almanac. Thank you for listening to the program. I'd like to invite you to listen to my other program, Agenda Earth, along with my co-host, Mark Zaski. Agenda Earth can be heard on the Crypto Reality YouTube channel, the Crypto Reality Facebook page, and the Agenda Earth Facebook page. The Historian's Almanac can be heard on the Blackwater Media YouTube channel, the Agenda Earth Facebook page, and the Historian's Almanac Facebook page. I'm Dr. William Lester, reminding you that history comes alive on the Historian's Almanac.